Kirill awakens in a police vehicle, displaying visible bruises after a long and eventful night. Curiously, the police officers unlock the car, questioning why he's still in their custody when they've already released others who were randomly picked up the previous night. Struggling to recollect the reasons behind his arrest, the officers decide it's his lucky day and release him. After his release, Kirill uses a map application on his phone to navigate his way back home. The past 24 hours have proven to be quite tumultuous for Kirill, with his ordeal commencing the night before when he attempted to serenade and express his love to his girlfriend, Anna. Meanwhile, Anna has just concluded a meeting with a man named Anton, who informs her of her acceptance into his organization. However, he emphasizes that while this is an excellent opportunity, she won't be able to travel abroad for a while. Anna seems unfazed by this restriction, and Anton drops her off. As Anna walks home, Kirill surprises her while dressed in a mascot costume, intending to recite a poem he composed for her. His friend Kotya records the entire encounter. However, Anna doesn't react positively, taking offense at the poem's choice of words. Kirill offers her birthday cards, but she's unimpressed because her birthday was the previous day. Frustrated with Kirill, Anna breaks up with him, revealing that she has a new job and a new boyfriend before entering her house. That same evening, Kirill and Kotya attend a party at Kirill's workplace to celebrate a game he developed. Kirill's boss congratulates him, and he takes photos with colleagues and well-wishers who praise his genius. During the party, Kirill discovers Kotya watching a video of Anna breaking up with him. While watching it himself, Kotya assures Kirill that Anna's recent behavior has been unusual and that her rapid ascent in her career is suspicious, suggesting that the breakup may be for the best. Kirill concurs with Kotya's assessment and decides to head home to walk his dog. Kotya drops Kirill off at his apartment, where he is surprised to find a woman named Renata claiming ownership of the room. This situation nearly drives Kirill to madness. The confusion escalates, prompting law enforcement to intervene. However, Renata provides documentation confirming her claim to the apartment, even though Kirill's neighbors affirm that he lives there and don't recognize Renata. With Renata's substantial evidence and Kirill's inability to locate documents proving his residency, the police instruct him to vacate the building. As he attempts to retrieve his dog, even the pet fails to recognize him. Kirill ends up spending the night at Kotya's place. While discussing the apartment predicament, Kirill ponders how Renata managed to renovate the apartment quickly. He expresses his intention to regain his apartment by visiting the Municipal Services Center the following day. In the morning, Kirill and Kotya set out to reclaim the apartment, with Kotya recording their journey. However, in all the offices they visit, there is no record of Kirill owning the apartment. With his life in disarray and a need for financial support, Kirill decides to visit his boss. Surprisingly, he goes unrecognized by anyone at the office, including his boss, who thinks Kirill is there to apply for the open position of video game designer, which had previously been his role in the company. Perplexed by these unsettling events, Kirill begins to wonder if he is the victim of an elaborate prank. His boss hands him a business card and schedules an interview for another day. As he exits to the reception area, he engages with a co-worker who also fails to recognize him. To prove they know each other, Kirill attempts to display photos taken during the party, only to find that all the images have been erased from his phone. Kirill's situation deteriorates further when he returns to Kotya, and even his friend no longer recognizes him. Confused and terrified, Kirill contacts his father, who happens to be in town. They meet at a park, but Kirill's father inexplicably forgets who his son is, despite waving at him moments earlier. The sudden memory loss leaves Kirill utterly shocked. Kirill subsequently decides to revisit his apartment, where his neighbor, who had previously defended him, no longer remembers him and believes he's a burglar. To Kirill's surprise, Renata comes to his aid, vouching for him as an old friend. Kirill is left bewildered, trying to unravel the mystery behind these bizarre events. Kirill is taken aback by Renata's peculiar actions and confronts her, questioning her identity and intentions as he senses someone attempting to erase his existence. Renata responds with humor, making light of Kirill's predicament. Frustrated and desperate, Kirill retreats to the kitchen, brandishing a knife in an attempt to intimidate Renata. However, Renata remains remarkably unafraid and unyielding. Instead of cowering, she nonchalantly splashes her drink on Kirill's face and compels him to stab her. Despite Kirill's resistance and Renata's calls for help, she manages to manipulate him into taking her life. As Kirill attempts to leave the house, a man, drawn by Renata's cries for assistance, enters the apartment and subdues Kirill, believing he was fleeing after the violent act. These events shed light on how Kirill found himself inside the police car before his subsequent release. Following the map's directions, Kirill arrives at a tower, enters it, and quickly finds a room where he falls asleep on a bed. When he awakens the next day, he discovers that the apartment has undergone a transformation. To his surprise, a carpet has magically appeared, covering the previously bare floor. In his haste to exit the tower, Kirill opens a door that leads to a snowy landscape. A mail carrier approaches and informs him that there is mail for him. Renata suddenly appears from another door and asserts that the mail is intended for Kirill, who is taken aback by her presence. Renata shocks Kirill by revealing that she did not die, and she instructs him to retrieve the mail. After the mail carrier departs, Renata explains that the door he had unlocked leads to Kim Gim, a perfect and inviting world. She discloses that he is now the gatekeeper of this realm, and the tower serves as his new home. During a tour of the house, Renata demonstrates how he can conjure new clothes and other items through mere wishes. Although impressed by the magical possibilities, Kirill initially resists Renata's plans. She warns him that in the real world, he would be perceived as a murderer, and his only refuge is within the tower. She further designates him as the customs officer, effectively the gatekeeper to Kim Gim. Realizing he has little choice, Kirill reluctantly agrees to remain and study the rule books provided by the mailman. Once Renata departs, Kirill immerses himself in the rule books, becoming familiar with the intricacies of Kim Gim. He also contacts Kotya, pretending to express interest in a job opportunity at his studio so that they can meet. Kotya selects a meeting location for an interview and to review Kirill's portfolio. Later that day, Kirill meets with Kotya and persuades him to visit the tower to view more artwork that could convince him to offer the job. Upon reaching the tower, Kirill reveals Kim Gim to Kotya, who is astounded by its existence. Kirill showcases his newfound magical abilities, impressing Kotya by manifesting the world's most expensive drink with a mere wish. Kotya eventually suggests they explore Kim Gim, but Kirill resists, citing his limited knowledge of the realm. Shortly after, Anton arrives with Anna, who, like others, does not recognize Kirill but knows Kotya. Anton announces his plans to introduce Anna to Kim Gim and dine at a place called the White Rose. Overwhelmed by jealousy and a longing to win back Anna, Kirill discards his reservations about entering Kim Gim, locates the White Rose's whereabouts from the mailman's delivery, and embarks on his journey into Kim Gim, accompanied by Kotya. Inside Kim Gim, Kirill and Kotya quickly come to realize that it is an alternate and idyllic version of their own world. They successfully locate the White Rose, a venue they were seeking, but their plans take an unexpected turn when a massive robot confronts them upon entry. Kirill, surprisingly skilled in combat, engages the robot and manages to fend it off. However, just as he is about to defeat the robot, it escapes through a portal. Kotya, documenting the entire sequence with his camera, reviews the footage alongside Kirill. Suddenly, blood starts dripping from the ceiling and lands on Kotya's phone. Undeterred by the strange turn of events, Kirill and Kotya investigate further and discover a woman named Rosa with a throat wound. She requests water from Kirill, and as he provides it, she miraculously begins to heal. Rosa apologizes to Kirill for failing to protect him during the robot attack, explaining that the attack was a test orchestrated by the world's curator. She assures Kirill that he performed well, offers him a bath to tend to his injuries from the robot fight, and reveals the curated nature of Kim Gim. She refers to the inhabitants as functionals, each with their designated roles within this peaceful world. In the bath, Kirill engages Rosa in a conversation, questioning his selection as a functional and the erasure of his identity. Rosa explains that the curators have observed them for a long time, carefully choosing individuals at the right moment to fulfill specific functions. Erasing his identity is necessary, as being part of the program renders him immortal. If his identity were known, he'd endure the loss of loved ones over time. Rosa also informs Kirill that his healing abilities will be less potent outside the tower, and he can expedite his recovery by consuming water. Their conversation is interrupted when Anton and Anna visit the White Rose, prompting Rosa to attend to them. The following day, Kirill explores Kimgim and opens a door leading to a beach. Anton visits Kirill at the customs office, informing him of his role as a monitor to ensure that Kirill adheres to the rules and regulations. Later that day, Renata arrives with 2 individuals from an inspection team. Kirill responds favorably when questioned about his comfort, and Renata seems pleased by his actions. She bestows a neck chain upon him, explaining that, like Superman within the tower, his power diminishes outside, and the chain will harm him if he strays too far. Despite the warning, Kirill defies the restrictions and ventures into the city when Renata departs. However, he faces a harrowing experience on the train, where the lack of water causes his body to become transparent. Bystanders speculate that he's on drugs, but some assist him until he acquires water and begins healing. Kirill later spends time with his parents, masquerading as a stranger delivering items for his mother's workplace. The next day, Kirill opens another door, leading to a new world where he encounters Vasilisa, another customs officer. Vasilisa discloses that her world is akin to a prison for individuals who have violated the curator's rules. During their conversation, a fresh group of prisoners arrives, and Kirill notices Anna among them. He devises a plan to free her, prompting a speech to the prisoners. As Kirill lifts Vasilisa as part of the speech, he seizes the opportunity to abscond with Anna. However, Vasilisa halts their escape, citing violations of the code and potential repercussions from the curator. Determined to safeguard Anna, Kirill escapes with her despite the risks. They return to his customs office, and he tends to her injuries. When Kotya, now identifying as the curator, confronts Kirill, he unleashes the leash, causing Kirill considerable pain. Kotya departs, leaving Kirill in agony, but he eventually carries Anna to the beach to accelerate their healing using the water's properties. The following day, Kirill leaves a note for Anna, promising to return, and proceeds to open another door. This time, the door leads to Arkan, where he encounters another Kirill. The Arkan Kirill introduces him to the world, explaining that Arkan is the original world, while others, including Kirill's, are experimental drafts. Tensions rise when the Arkan Kirill perceives his counterpart as a threat, leading to a confrontation involving robots. Injured but not defeated, Kirill escapes by entering a river, navigating through a sewage tank, and returning to the customs office via a portal. Back at the office, he encounters Renata, and a fierce confrontation ensues. Kirill ultimately stabs Renata, causing the tower to collapse. Amidst the wreckage, Kirill receives a phone call from his mother, signaling the restoration of his identity. Kirill's attempt to salvage one of the doors from the collapsed tower is thwarted by Kotya, who explains that their world faces a threat, and the doors cannot be used until they save their world. Kirill reluctantly accompanies Kotya, and they depart together, leaving behind a trail of uncertainties. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more recaps like this. Thanks for watching.